Good morning. This is Wednesday for KAP. We're talking about multiplying fractions. Here is our warm-up. We were given some models, and we're going to write the equations and solve them from there. For number one, tell me what you did and what you got, Michaela, please. Can you tell me the equation you wrote? 1/4. And what did you do to add those? Can you add them like they are? No. So what did you do, Michaela? And what was your common denominator for those? Very good. And so 1/3 is the same as 4/12, Michaela. And then 1/4 is the same thing as 3/12, and you got 7/12. So you all agree? Yeah. Awesome. Can I simplify that answer? No. Yes, ma'am? Okay, I'm gonna, yeah. 8, can you do, let's do this one. 8, yeah. What do you see right now? You see? I see 2 halves. I see 3/4, very good. 2/4, and what operation are we doing? Subtracting, okay? So, are they good as they are? Yeah, okay, and so my answer is? Very good. Can I simplify 1/4? No, I cannot. Last one, Heyman. Oh. I thought I yeah. What's the equation you got? 1/2 plus 1/3 is okay, but can I add them as they are? No, so what's that new equation? 3/6 plus 2. Can I simplify? No. Great. Awesome. Okay. For the homework, I know the homework was spicy, but hey, we're gonna be awesome pros. The key, there was a mistake. A few of y'all messaged us. Mistake happened. Were there any questions though, like on this front page? Were we good? Decimals was reviewed from last week. Yes. If you put a fraction that wasn't simplified, would it tell you to? I don't think it would tell you to simplify. Like I know this one. This slide will make a mistake. This slide made a mistake. I simplified this fraction wrong. I simplified it to -3/4 when it should have been -2/3, and that was the mistake on the key that some people made. So it wanted 2/3. It wanted the simplified version. Okay. We always want simplified. Yes. Yeah, and so it was gonna. It's a silly mistake. It's fine. We're good. We're fine. Any other questions? Yeah. Were there any that like people had trouble with? Again, if you got through the breakout numbers, that okay. Again, just that one was the issue. Yes. Oh, we can try. Okay, we're trying to. We try and have fun where we can. Sometimes it doesn't allow, but always I have fun in my mind. Okay, always. All right, moving on. Let's get out our test keys. So if you're at home, please get out your test keys that you picked up yesterday. Wave it in my face. Please wave it in my face. Okay, I need to see that everyone gets it out. I'm gonna pause the video just real quick. On number 6. We had a few people already do it. On this one, please add to select all that apply. Like maybe just write it up top. Select all that apply. What does that mean? Does it have more than one answer? The fact that I told you to fix it doesn't mean that it's probably have more than one answer. Yeah. Okay. Just letting you know. We have not taught that yet, so don't freak out and you're like, that's gonna be tomorrow's lesson. But yeah, just make sure you make that edit because when we check it on Monday, you're gonna be like, I took the one answer. I'm gonna say, well, we told you. All right, y'all good? Okay, when's that test review due? Monday. It's coming Monday, so that you can have the weekend to have a party with yourself and have some that. All right. Today we're gonna talk about multiplying fractions. We're gonna start with a brain pop video. Let me pause my recording so I can pull that up.
Ew, how'd that get in there? Dear Tim and Mommy, how do you multiply and divide fractions? from Joe. You're in luck, Joe. We're gonna have to multiply fractions to get through this brownie baking mess. Okay, we're baking for 40 people. Better not be as bad as it sounds. Well, 1 1/2 kilograms of brownie mix will make enough brownies for 10 people. So how many kilos of that mix will we need for 40 people? 40 tenths times 1 1/2. We can reduce that first part to make it easier. 40 divided by 10 is the same as 4 over 1. Let's get that 1 1/2 out of its mixed number form. 1 times 2 halves equals 2 halves, plus 1/2 is 3 halves. When you multiply fractions, you multiply the numerators and denominators separately. 4 times 3 equals 12, and 1 times 2 equals 2. 12 halves is 6. So we need 6 kilograms of brownie mix. You need that in grams? Okay. Well, 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. So we can multiply 1,000 by 6 pretty easily to get 6,000 grams. But I just told you. Okay, fine. I'll show you how to do it by dividing fractions. We'll start with our original fraction, 12 divided by 2. Now, to figure out how many grams that is, we can divide by the fraction 1 kilogram over 1,000 grams. Dividing by a fraction is the same.
Thank you, We're just doing multiplying. Sorry, she's just like. Sorry. All right. So multiplying fractions. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna practice it with some models. We'll learn the math behind it as well. If you have like, I would say like 2 colors, maybe like a highlighter, or if you honestly just have 2 different colored pens, that'd be awesome. I'll pause the video so you can go grab those real quick. Okay. I'm sorry. Sort of, kind of, but not really, because. All right, let's read the problem and understand the situation. We gave a word problem just so we can visualize and understand like some more concrete stuff. Number 1 says Mr. Johnson owns 4 acres of land that he used to farm vegetables. 3/5 of his land is pumpkin. What part of Mr. Johnson's land is pumpkin? Okay, so first I'm going to start with modeling his 4 acres of land. What do you think I could use? The 4 rectangles, right? Are you good with that? Is he using all 4 acres to farm? Yes, it says he owns 4 acres that he uses to farm. So I'm first going to show all of his farming land. Okay, so I'm going to color all 4 boxes. And he uses those 4 acres. Okay, 10 seconds. Don't make it a work of art, but literally love it. Beautiful. World's quickest coloring. Beautiful partner. Amazing. Love it. 10 out of 10. Okay. So he's using all 4 acres to farm, but he's not using it all of it for the same thing. That's what smart farmers do. They do different crops and stuff like that. It says that he's using 3/5 of his land for pumpkins. Okay, so in order to show 3/5, what do you think I need to do? I need to break these acres down into how many sizes? I need to break it down into fifths. Very good. I'm just going to cut it across. That way I don't have to do anything crazy. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, the straight lines across. I would do it in a darker color. Okay, I've broken it into fifths, but I need to show which part he's using for pumpkin. So how many of those am I going to shade? 3/5, and I'm going to do it all the way across because I'm going to do 1/5, 2/5, and 3/5. Okay, again, this might not actually be how he separated it. Okay, he could have done them all in one, but visually this really helps us out. If I'm looking for what part of his land is pumpkins, I'm looking at all of it, okay? And just like with the decimal models, I'm looking for wherever it's double shaded, okay? So looking at those double shaded pieces, I'm I noticed that all of my land is broken into fifths. Y'all agree? Okay, each size piece is a fifth, and I'm going to count and see how many fifths he has. Let's count with me. 1. Okay, let's count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12 fifths. Do y'all agree with that? Yeah. Okay. That is what kind of fraction that's a improper, but we always like to simplify it to a mixed number. Okay, so you can either use the division top in, bottom out, or I know a lot of y'all can do this mentally, which is totally fine. How many times can I take 5 out of 12? Twice. And I'm going to have how much left over? 2 fifths. So it's 2 and 2 fifths. Again, with this, I understand a lot of us can probably do that mentally. 2 and 2 fifths. Oh, Lord. Let me pause and recalibrate real quick. All right. Now, of course, do y'all love models and want to do them every single time for every single problem? Thank you for not lying to me. I appreciate that. Of course not. Okay. So, of course, I want to show you mathematically what the arithmetic behind it. Okay. So, again, in this problem, I'm trying to find 3/5 of this land. And how many acres does he have? 4. So, I'm trying to find 3/5 of 4. Okay. 3/5 of 4. Y'all agree with that? Mm-hmm. Miss Lytle told us last week, whenever we saw of, that actually means what operation? It means to multiply. So I'm going to multiply. Every time I see that word of, okay, if I'm finding a piece of something, that's going to mean to multiply. Now I have a fraction and I have a whole number. Those are 2 different kinds of numbers. One second. All right. So I have a fraction, I have a whole number. That's weird. Oh, okay. Could I make them both fractions? Yeah, how could I do that? Raise your hand. How could I make them both fractions? Anthony, come on. How can I turn 4 into a fraction? Bam, put it over 1. Do y'all agree? Bam, it's a fraction. Yes, ma'am? Oh, okay. So that it's a fraction times a fraction. Now, all I have to do when we multiply fractions is you go right across. You're going to multiply top times top, bottom times bottom. Okay, so 3 times 4 is 12, and 5 times 1 is 5. Hey, doesn't that match my answer today? Okay, we'll do that. Okay, what do I need to do with this answer now? Simplify. I can take 5 out of 12 2 times, and then I would have how much left over? 2 fifths. Okay? Nothing too crazy. Okay, so again, it says, when multiplying fractions and whole numbers, what did he do before we even multiplied? What did I do with that whole number? Andrew? Yeah, made it a fraction. All I have to do is put it over 1. When multiplying fractions and whole numbers, put whole number over 1. Put whole number over 1. Then multiply top by top, bottom by bottom. Okay. And simplify. Yeah, I'll pause and let y'all record that. All right, here we go again. Miss Smith has 3 3/4 bags of chips left in the pantry. She broke into one of those bags she got hungry. Maybe at the first, you know, when you're grocery shopping, you're like, I don't even want to wait to get some. Does anyone's parents do that? Like they get the bag? No, I don't do that, but I know there's people out there. I see kids like they have the bag open already before they do the pantry. I was like, oh. Yeah. So let's pretend. So Miss Smith has 3 3/4 bags of chips left in the pantry. Her dog found them. And ate half of the chips. What fraction of all the chips did her dog eat? Okay, so let's pause. Let's model that. So when I model 3 3/4 bags, am I going to color all 4 like I did for the first one? Yeah. No. Okay, so I'm going to color 3 full ones and then 3/4. Yes, ma'am? I don't know. Let's what they do. Okay, so we're coloring 3 3/4. Let's say this is their bag of Doritos. Their bag of Pocky. No, I don't like Pocky. Okay, insert your favorite one. Okay. The Super Puff Cheetos. And then the best ones. I'm gonna split this into 4s before I color it off. Okay, I'm gonna split it in half, and then in half and a half. My favorites are the kettle cooked barbecue cake cod, whatever. Everyone brings them before it. Okay? That's probably the one that I would bring in the grocery store if I needed to, if I was desperate. Okay? Do y'all agree that models the 3 3/4 bag of chips? Okay? Now here comes Fluffy the dog. Oh no. Let's call him, I think it's gonna be a Pomeranian, one of those really short, like fluffy ones. Okay? And Fluffy is gonna eat. Okay, before I even do this. Okay, I don't like that one's broken down and this one isn't. Okay, so I'm gonna carry these over. Okay with that? Do I still have 3 3/4? I do. Okay, I just want to make them all look the same. Okay, but here comes Fluffy. Uh-oh. Okay, so Fluffy's gonna eat half of my Doritos. So I'm gonna shake this one side of the. Fluffy's gonna eat. He gets bored with the Cheeto or the Doritos, and here comes for the Takis. And he's like, uh-oh, those are too spicy. He moves on to the Super Puff Cheetos. Eats half of those. And then lastly, he's gonna come and eat those favorite barbecue Cape Cod kettle cooked barbecue chips. All right, so let's see how much Fluffy ate. Oh man. Okay, so first let's start with what size are my pieces? Yes, Andrew. I disagree. I don't think they're fourths. Tanner? They're 8s. Okay, because I split into 4ths, but then Fluffy came and made them 8s. Okay, now let's figure out how many 8s that he had. So there's 4, there's 4, there's 4, and there's 3. So let's make a total of 4, 4, 4. That's 12 plus 3 is 15. 8. And if you count it, that's how many there would be. Okay, but that's an improper fraction. We want to change it to mixed. Okay, so that's going to give me 1 and 7 8s. Very good. Again, you can set it up 15, 8. It goes in one time. I'm left with 7. So 1 and 7 8. Okay, let's learn the math behind it. Okay, so again, Fluffy's eating 1/2 of the chips. How much chips do I have? 3 3/4. And whenever Miss Lytle sees the word up, that really means to multiply. I'm finding half of 3 3/4. Now, again, I have a predicament. I have a fraction, and then I've got a mixed number. Is there a way to make them the same? Carolyn? Change the mixed number to improper. Would that make it match? Yeah. Okay. So how do we change 3 3/4 into improper, class? Okay. TX. Take a second. Take a second. My answer, class, is going to be 15 because 4 times 3 is 12 plus 3, that's 15 fourths. Do y'all agree? Okay, so I'm going to rewrite that 1/2 times 15 fourths. Now, how do we multiply fractions? Multiply the top and the bottom. Okay, 1 by 15 is 15, 2 by 4, 8. Is that the same thing? Yes, and I'm still going to simplify. Gucci? Gucci. All right, so when you have mixed numbers, what do we do first before we can multiply that mixed number? We'll change to improper. And then I'm going to say multiply like normal. I don't want to do top times. Okay, then multiply like normal. Any fraction problem, I end it with simplifying. Yay? Yeah. Look at that. I'm a rock star. That's what you're saying. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to practice. Okay, what I want you to do, I want you to do these first 1, 2, and 4. Take a second. Digest it, take some time to do it yourself. We're going to check in about 2 minutes. Pause and play with your music. All right, let's look at these. 1/2 times 1/2. There's a lot more mistakes than I should be making. We do top times top, bottom times bottom. So times with me. What is 1 times 1? 1. See, a lot of people putting 2. We are multiplying. Okay, not adding, we are multiplying. That should be 1 over 4. Can I simplify that? No. Okay, it's 1/4. All right, next one. What is that here? 5 sevens times 3/5. Now I'm going to show you how to solve this 2 ways. Y'all already did one way, and then I'm going to surprise you with another way to do this. Okay, but let's multiply it as y'all did. 5 by 3 is 15 over 35. Can I simplify that? Yes, because I can divide both of those by 5. Very good. 5 and 5. And that's going to give me 3 over 7. Okay, process digest. Okay, I can divide them both by 5. Now, what I want you to write underneath that is we're going to write cross simplify. You're going to write the word cross simplify, and I'm going to copy the problem. I'm going to copy 5 over 7 times 3 over 5. Okay? I'm going to teach you a shortcut in a way. Okay? I'm going to show you there's actually a way to simplify before I do the math. Okay? What cross simplifying is exactly what it sounds like. I'm going to simplify, and I'm going to look across. I'm going to look diagonally. I'm going to look at my diagonals, 3 and 7, and then 5 and 5. I'm going to look to see if I can simplify those numbers. I'm going to see, can I divide 3 and 7 by a number? Like, are they both, do they have a common factor? No. Does 5 and 5 have a common factor? Yes, the number is 5. I'm going to divide them both by 5. So I'm going to put a slash. I'm going to divide it by 5 and make it 1. I'm going to divide it by 5 and make it 1. Okay? Now with that simplified number, I'm going to use that instead. So I'm going to do 1 times 3, which gives me 3. And then 7 times 1 gives me 7. Is that the same answer I got up above? Okay? In both cases, am I simplifying by 5? Yeah. Okay? It's just when I do it. With multiplication, and we'll talk about this as well, you can cross simplify before you even multiply. Okay? You're allowed to do that. Question? Do you have to? No. Do I encourage it? Yes. Because you'll see, like, later on, you'll get really big numbers if you just multiply across. But if you want to make it simpler and smaller answers, it is a good idea to cross simplify. Okay? It's not mandatory, but highly, highly encouraged. Yes, ma'am? Let's look. She just asked, can we cross simplify before? I see I have mixed numbers, and do I like to multiply with mixed numbers? No, we change them to improper. Ashmita, did you already change it to improper?
No.
Can you do that for me real quick? At least do that first fraction for me. I'll give you a second. 29 cents. Did you do the second one? Okay. 29 fifths times 10 thirds. Very good. Okay, so we want to see, can I cross simplify? I'm going to look at diagonals. So let's first look at 29 and 3. Can I cross simplify with those? No. No. Okay, because I'm mainly going to say 29 is not a multiple of 3. Great. What about 5 and 10? Yes. What are they both multiples of? They're multiples of 5. They're multiples of 5. So I'm going to divide them both by 5. 10 is going to become 2, and 5 is going to become 1. Okay? Now I multiply with that simplified number. 29 times 2, I'd much rather do that. It gives me 58 over 1 times 3, 3. Okay? What can I do with that number? Yeah, I can simplify it because it's a improper fraction. 58 divided by 3. Does 3 go into 5? Yes, how many times? 1. I'm left with 2. Bring down that 8. 3 goes into 28. 9 times to give me 27. I'm left with 1. Again, this is normally where I would go into decimals, but I'm not going to. My answer is 19 and 1/3. Digest, process. Are we good with that? All right, finish the page. All right, let's look at it. Number 3, can you help me out, June? 8/3 times 1/2. Very good. Yep. Very good. Yep. Very good. Very good. Okay, so even if you didn't do the cross simplifying at the end, you should get 1 1/3. Do you agree? Do we have questions? Okay, awesome job explaining. Amazing. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of it just for math sake for speed. So 10 1/2 is the same as 21 halves times 3 fourths. Did y'all see a cross simplifying opportunity? Okay. So that gave me 63 over 8. How many times can I take 8 out? 7 times, and I'm left with 7 eighths. Very good. Do we agree? Okay. Again, little mistakes are totally okay right now. 1 5/6 is going to be 11/6. Yes. You'll agree? Okay. And then 4 3/8. That's 32 plus 3 is 35 over 8. Any cross simplifying opportunities? Where? No. Yeah, no. So this is going to give me 385. Yes? Over 48. Have I shown y'all my 11 here? Did I show y'all on the divisibility day? I won't do it again. I just love it. It's so cool. How many times can I take 48 out? I don't know. Okay, let's do this. 385 and 48. Can I go 48 into 3? Class, can I go into 3? Can I go into 38? Can I go into 48? Yes, how many times? Let's try 8, because I know my answer is 8. That's going to be 32, that's going to be 38. Does it fit another time? Say with confidence, does it go in another time? If it's 1 less? Okay, that's going to be 384. I'm left with 1. So it's 8 and 1, 48. It's 8 and 1, 48. I would have loved to cross simplify that one. Sadly, I just could not. Okay. The last ones, I'm just going to put the answers because of time. This is going to be 3/10, 3 and 2/3, and then 5 and 3/5. If you need to see the worked out examples, they are on Canvas. Yes, ma'am. Number 5 was 7 and 7 eighths. Awesome. All right. So your homework, we still have for homework, we still have like 5-6 minutes, so we should not be fully packed up. But go ahead and work through this. You're gonna find the product. Product means to multiply. You're going to solve the problems and then make a cute little riddle. What do you call a pirate that fish class? Don't answer it if you already have it. That proves all the fun. And what are we all about in math class? Fun. All right. Y'all can check your key on Canvas. Good night.